take us to Mars. Yeah. Oh, hi. Hello. Welcome to Octopus News. Tesla CEO Elon Musk presented the first batch of the new Tesla Model Y cars on Wednesday at the first Giga factory in Europe, situated in Berlin. Clients purchasing the first lot of cars off the new production line were at the event, cheering and clapping as Elon Musk celebrated by dancing and joking around with the crowd. Musk described the event as another step in the direction of a sustainable future. At full capacity, the new factory will produce 500,000 cars per year. Currently, the factory only employs about 8,000 of the estimated 12,000 staff required to run at full capacity.
Elon Musk busted out his signature dance moves on Tuesday as Tesla officially opened its Gigafactory in Germany, the company's first manufacturing facility in Europe.
I'm incredibly excited to hand over the first production cars from our incredible team here at Giga Berlin Brandenburg. Tesla will make sure that this is a gemstone for the area, for Germany, for Europe, and for the world.
North Korea has tested a new ballistic missile that could theoretically reach the United States of America. The Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, abbreviated as ICBM, flew over 1,000 miles and landed in Japanese waters during the test. This particular missile can travel well over 1,000 miles, however, reaching as far as 15,000 miles. These kinds of missile tests were supposedly banned by the United Nations after North Korea tested a similar type of missile in 2017. South Korean President Moon Jae-in has condemned the missile test, saying that the North Korean Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un went back on his promise to stop tests of this kind. Kim Jong-un has gone back on his word because this was apparently only an agreement between himself and 45th United States President Donald Trump. In 2020, he announced he was no longer bound by this agreement.
North Korea released a bizarre Hollywood-style video this week, promoting the country's recent missile test launch. The missile sizzle aired on North Korean state television. It features North Korea's so-called Supreme Leader, Kim Jong-un, sporting a cool leather jacket and cool sunglasses. Flanked by officers, Kim strolls slow-mo out of a military installation, like they're in Peaky Blinders or Reservoir Dogs. The music gets more urgent, and there are some fast cuts between the trio as they look at their watches. Then Kim gives the signal, and the big missile is slowly wheeled out of the building. There's some more walking and watch-looking. That blinking red light can only mean one thing. The officers seemingly shout the missile into ignition, which the video shows from lots of different angles. Then the mood shifts to one of celebration. There's a class photo, with Kim in the center of it all. And of course, more cool slow-motion walking. The self-congratulatory piece of propaganda came after North Korea test-launched its largest intercontinental ballistic missile this week. That missile, called Hwasongpo 17, landed in the Sea of Japan. It was the DPRK's first intercontinental ballistic missile test since 2017. Experts believe an ICBM of this sort could reach the United States and could carry a nuclear payload. The missile test was condemned by several nations. Japan's prime minister called it an unacceptable act of violence. The White House described it as a brazen violation of several UN Security Council resolutions. And South Korea responded by test firing several of its own missiles.
On Wednesday this week, the heads of state of the 30 NATO allies gathered to address Russia's aggression against Ukraine. The world leaders at the NATO summit said the war against Ukraine has shattered peace in Europe and is causing enormous human suffering and destruction. The NATO members stand in full solidarity with President Zelensky, Ukrainian government, and Ukrainian citizens. They call on President Putin to immediately stop this war and begin ceasefire negotiations. A statement issued by NATO after the summit details steps the NATO allies are taking in response to the war and outlines further steps that will be taken if President Putin does not make an effort to negotiate a ceasefire. The measures that will be taken are described as a 360-degree approach and remain preventative, proportionate, and non-escalatory. In immediate response to Russia's actions, NATO's defense plans were activated, deploying elements of the NATO response force and placing 40,000 troops on Europe's eastern flank between NATO allies and Russia.
Overnight, Ukrainian President Zelensky marking 1 month since Russia's invasion.
We all must stop Russia.
Addressing the world in English outside a government building, Zelensky says Russia isn't just waging war on Ukraine.
This is only the beginning for Russia on the Ukrainian land. Russia is trying to defeat the freedom of all people in Europe, of all the people in the world. It tries to show that only crude and cruel force matters.
His plea for support coming as President Biden meets with foreign leaders holding an emergency NATO summit this morning. ABC's Karen Travers filing this report as she travels with the president.
White House officials say the president in Brussels will reaffirm the ironclad U.S. commitment to the NATO military alliance and work to strengthen the response from the U.S. and allies to Russia's ongoing attacks on Ukraine. The president and world leaders will announce a new package of sanctions on Russia. The White House signaling this will be a new effort to crack down on countries helping Russia get around the previously imposed sanctions.
Ukrainian forces are making progress defending their capital, pushing Russian troops back 34 miles outside Kyiv. That's double the distance from just days ago. But in the port city of Mariupol, this drone video posted online shows the extreme devastation as the U.S. formally accuses Russia of war crimes.
The Facebook and Instagram umbrella known as Meta is slowly recovering from a 50% crash in the stock market over a month ago. Many employees are contemplating leaving the company, discussing the situation and outlook on the popular forum known as Blind. Blind is a forum where professionals discuss corporations and corporate culture in an anonymous setting without fear of backlash in their jobs. Many stock market experts think rival company Alphabet, the parent company of Google, is also due for a crash. Meta and Alphabet share similar business models, where they gather user data and use that data to display accurate advertisements to users of the services. Despite the negative feelings towards this type of business model, the companies have been doing exceptionally well year over year, with user engagement and revenue growing each quarter. Recently, this has been due to more people staying indoors while coronavirus is active around the world, allowing them to spend more time online. The massive drop in stock price could be due to a number of factors, but a lot of people attribute it to the widely unpopular metaverse idea. Brainchild of CEO and founder Mark Zuckerberg, metaverse is a virtual space where users can join virtual meetings and socialize using digital representations of themselves, known as avatars. A poll conducted last year showed that the majority of US citizens were not interested in the metaverse idea. Thank you for watching Octopus News. Please subscribe for more animated news coverage and leave a like if you enjoyed this video.